This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Welcome to Talking to Spirits with Lightworkers Tim and Justina. We have a very exciting show today. We actually have a special guest with us here, and we'll introduce a little bit about our special guest in a few here.
Yeah, I'll do that in a second. Before we mention our guest, I just want to put out to our listening audience that Justina and myself, we conduct sessions with our clients. We have people coming to us with emotional, habitual, physical problems, or just answers. They want answers to their questions. So we just want to let you know that we are now running a special for 1 week. So if you want to contact us, you can have 30% off. All you have to do is contact us through our website, which is lightworkers.cc. And our email is contact@lightworkers.cc. And all you have to do is say, hey, I heard that you're giving 30% off this week. And what we'll do is we'll contact you back and we'll figure it all out. So that's one point. A second point I want to mention is if anyone would like to come on the show and actually do a session like we're doing this evening, and it's evening where we are right now, all you have to do is, again, go to our website, lightworkers.cc, contact@lightworkers.cc, or there's a form there, and just say, hey, I would like to come on the show. And there's no cost to you for that, and we'll just collect your questions, and we'll do it. So wonderful. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Bud Majeko, and I believe his girlfriend is going to ask a couple of questions. Her name is Angela Morrissey. So Bud and Angela, welcome to the show. Bud, are you there with us? Can you say a big hello?
I am. Hello. I'm happy to be on the show. Thank you very much for having me.
Great. Wonderful, Bud. Thanks for being here. Well, Justina, do you have anything else to add, or should we just kind of jump right in?
I just want to thank all the listeners for listening to our previous shows and our show today.
Yeah. And the process, very quickly, is I can get Justina down into the sleep state. She's actually sleeping very quickly. Then we're going to ask to talk to her guides. Then we're going to connect with Bud's guides. So that's what we're doing right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Justina, are you comfortable? You ready to begin?
Yes, I'm all ready.
Wonderful. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep, deep, deep breath in. Fill up your lungs really good. And just hold that breath for a moment or two. And as you exhale that breath, just relax. Just let go of the surface tension in your body. And now, take another deep breath in. Just a really good deep breath in. And hold that breath for a moment. And as you exhale that breath, relax even more. Just let go. As I count from 10 down to 1, each number will just allow you to relax a little bit more, letting go more and more. Starting with number 10, 9, 8, drifting down. 7, 6, drifting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yellow elephant. Yellow elephant. Subconscious mind, you're always listening to me. Yellow elephant. And you're protected by the white light, safe and protected. Yellow elephant. And that's good. May I please speak to Justina's spirit guide, please?
Yes.
And is this Comets?
Yes.
Hello, Comets. Thank you very, very much for coming forward. Comets, we have a very special person with us at this time. His name is Bud Majeko. Comets, could you please connect with Bud Majeko's guides and bring them in with us?
Yes.
Wonderful. And are they here now?
Yes.
And Comets, for you to connect with spirits or other guides, it seems like that's a very easy and very fast process for you. Would that be correct in saying that?
Yes, that is correct.
Is it because we're all connected energy-wise already? Is that why that's so easy?
Yes, in a way, yes. We are all connected.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Comets. After this break, we're going to jump right in. Bud has some questions, and I have some questions for Bud.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com.
Take a step back in time and discover old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing Restaurant in Fellsmere, Florida. Enjoy delicacies such as frog legs, gator tail, catfish, and swamp cabbage, or enjoy the more traditional cuisine such as hand-cut Angus steaks, ribs, and seafood. Join us for breakfast with a southern flair featuring sweet potato pancakes, biscuits and gravy, and much more. Planning a party? Marsh Landing's private dining rooms can accommodate groups from 8 to 80 people. While you visit, enjoy the historic pictures, artifacts, and stories that line the walls. Marsh Landing is truly a unique experience. Marsh Landing Restaurant, 44 North Broadway in historic downtown Fellsmere, or visit marshlandingrestaurant.com. Marsh Landing, old Florida cuisine at its best.
If you're a seeker, don't miss the inspiring book Shamanic Awakening, Between the Dark and the Daylight. This remarkable work chronicles shamanic counselor and indigenously trained dream decoder Sandra Cochran's 35 years of experience with diverse wisdom keepers throughout the Americas. Sandy's initiations across the British Isles, Turkey, Greece, and Egypt, combined with her knowledge of symbology, psychology, and myth, influence her dream blog and workshops. Sandy offers private readings, sacred international journeys, a meditative CD, and her book, Shamanic Awakening, to encourage you as you navigate your earth walk and create a deeper connection to yourself. Find this and more at her website, starwalkervisions.com.
And welcome back to Talking to Spirits with Lightworkers Tim and Justina. Justina is now in the sleep state, and her main guide, Comets, is here with us. We've connected with Bud's guides as well. Comets, the first question I have for Bud is, how many spirit guides does Bud have?
He currently has 7 spirit guides.
7. Can you please tell Bud what his main primary guide's name is?
The guide that wants to step forward today is named Ozzy, which is actually a secondary guide.
Okay. Ozzy. Okay. Can you provide Bud with the names of the other guides? Is that something that we could ask for?
Another spirit guide that wants to be involved tonight is named Zella.
So we have Ozzy and Zella.
Correct.
Thank you very, very much. Does Bud have a particular guide that looks over his physical body, like a healing guide?
That is what Zella has stepped forward to do.
So Zella. I was hoping that Zella, as I ask some questions and Bud asks some questions, if Zella, could you please do an internal body scan on Bud just to see, we'll ask again later, just to see if he's healthy and in balance. Would that be okay to do?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Zella. Now, with Bud is Angela. I believe, Angela, you had a question, and I'm going to just let you ask that question. Or, Bud, you can ask the question for Angela. Go ahead and do that. Or actually, I'm sorry, let's wait 1 second. Comets. We also have Angela Morrissey. Did I say that last name correctly, Bud?
Yes.
I did. Thank you, Angela. Comets, could we please also connect with Angela Morrissey's spirit guides at this time?
Yes.
And they're here now?
Correct.
Can you please tell Angela the name of her main spirit guide?
Jane.
Jane. Okay, wonderful. So we have Ozzy, Zella, and Jane with us. You know what? Go ahead now, Angela, or Bud, go ahead and ask that question that you wanted to ask.
She wants to know if her deceased husband is happy, okay, watching over her. She just is very curious.
Can you please speak his first and last name for the guides?
Michael Morrissey.
Michael Morrissey. What I've learned with the guides is the moment you speak it, they show up. Is that correct, Comets?
Yes.
Is Michael here with us now?
Yes, he is.
Could Michael please give Angela some information as to how he's doing now?
He is doing great. He is happy and is up in heaven and is doing wonderful. And yes, you are correct. He does watch over you all the time and is looking down at you and just wants you to live a happy life. His ultimate goal always was to make you the happiest possible.
Angela, did you have another question or two now that he's here?
Is he not okay with me having Bud in my life?
Yes, he just wants you happy, and if Bud makes you happy, then he is completely okay with this. Once he passed away, he did not want your life to end. He wanted you to continue to be happy and not sad about his death. So yes, he is completely okay with it.
Okay. And do you have another question, Angela? Or
One last one. I when my kids, how is he able to excuse me, manifest himself into a different like to make sure that the kids feeling his presence? Excuse me.
Yes, he is able to show your children that he is still around, watching over them, and he says he will do this in small ways. So he will leave little things for them that they will know are from him, and they also will be able to feel that he is watching over them. Obviously, they won't be able to see him, but they will know that he is there.
are there any specific things that he does to communicate? For instance, does he come to her or the children in dreams or in feelings or in any particular way or at any particular time?
More in feelings, so they will just know that he is around, and he usually comes when they are alone so that they can focus on feeling that he is around.
Okay.
Thank you.
Angela, do you have any other questions at all?
My mother died here with me, and I just needed. They were close to each other, Michael and her. I'm not sure if at this time, if they are seeing each other, they have seen their spirits, connect after death.
Okay, Angela, could you speak your mother's first and last name, please?
Sinforosa Avendaño.
Is she here now? Comments?
Yes.
Is she connected with Michael in the spirit world?
Yes. When you go to the spirit world, you meet all your friends and family. So once they passed away, they met up right away and have been watching over you together. So sometimes you will also feel your mother around too, not just Michael.
Comments, is there anything that Michael or Angela's mother could say, something from the past that Angela would remember, like maybe like a Christmas gift or an event or some kind of like a validation for Angela so she knows that her husband and her mother are there?
Angela's mother said, remember the song she used to sing.
Does that make sense to you, Angela?
Yes.
It does, okay. Could Michael give any kind of validation so she knows they're both there?
He is just saying to remember the quiet moments they spent together and the long talks they had, and that he's sorry he's no longer there to do that and take care of her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Angela, did you have any other questions at this time?
No, I don't have. Thank you.
No. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Jane. Thank you, Comets, for that information. Now, Bud, you had a motorcycle crash. Could you kind of explain that? I know you were wondering why you were hurt so badly. Can you describe that crash a little bit?
Only that I rarely wear protective equipment because I only take short rides, and there was a voice that told me to protect myself very well. I put on a helmet and hit my head very, very hard. It was a mechanical failure. I did wonder why that happened, and I have some ideas on that. I'm still not sure if it makes sense to me or not, of why that happened.
So that happened since it was on your life path. So the protection was an intuition and your guides telling you to make sure that you were protected so that you would not pass away in this crash. It was not a crash that was a time for you meant to die, but instead it was a crash that was part of your life lessons and your life path that you set out for yourself. And this was put into your life so that you would be more careful and make sure that no matter what, you did have the protection you needed, even when you were going for these short journeys. Basically, it was a sign from your guides to slow down and make sure to remember that you can live life to the fullest, but you also have to be safe at the same time.
Okay. Was Bud meant to have that accident, or was it associated with like a spiritual attachment?
He was meant to have it, so it was written into his life path.
Okay. Any other questions on that one, Bud?
Well, you brought up, is there any attachments? I don't seem to feel any. I was wondering if there are any that are influencing me in a negative way.
No, there are no attachments on you.
Okay.
I do have another question if I can move on.
Sure.
I have a friend who's very recently, I have two questions. A friend who has very recently had some serious health problem all of a sudden. And
what is your friend's first and last name?
David Mogul. We're very close. And I wanted to know if he's a very spiritual, kind human being. And I wanted to know if I can't really communicate with him right now because of his condition. And I'm just wondering if he's going to come back for a while or he's going to move on. We just wonder what his plan is.
So we are getting that he actually does have spiritual attachments. So at this time, we are connecting with his guides and removing these spiritual attachments. And to answer your question, yes, he will come back again.
Removing spiritual attachments. And he's such a kind human being. Where were they from? This life or another life? Or how do these happen?
So spiritual attachments can happen through many different ways. So the most common is that some type of portal or something happened around him. So this can be something as simple as passing a graveyard to something more extreme. But we suggest to everyone to make sure that you put up protection around yourself. So this is as simple as putting the white light around yourself, and this will help protect you from these attachments.
How long does that last? How long does it last? Because I do that quite often. Just imagine a white light around myself.
We recommend you do it when you wake up and go to bed. And if you think of it throughout the day, that would also be advised, but at least 2 times a day.
Thank you.
Okay. And before you get to that second question, Bud, we have a break coming up. But I have a quick question, if you don't mind. Comets, just last night, I didn't slide the slider on my door. Did a spirit come in and move that slider on my front door?
Yes, but all the spiritual attachments were also removed from you, Tim. So you need to also keep protecting yourself, especially during the day when you forget.
Okay, thank you. We'll pick that up right after this short break.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
There's a legend shared by many indigenous cultures of a time when the nations were cast to the four corners of the world. Each nation was given a body of sacred knowledge that held a different portion of the truth to preserve. True reality could not be known until all the nations reunited, combining the information. If a single one was missing, the world could not be reborn and darkness would prevail. The Science of Magic Radio is dedicated to reuniting the sacred knowledge. With the understanding, none of us has all the answers, but together we can open new perceptions and possibilities. Through our combined vision, the world can be reborn into a place where darkness no longer prevails. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic daily on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, xzbn.net, or visit us at thescienceofmagic.net.
Gibbs A. Williams, Ph.D., is a practicing psychoanalyst, supervisor, researcher, and author in New York City. Much of his life has been dedicated to understanding nature and the uses of meaningful coincidences or synchronicities. His radical and original non-Jungian, non-mystical, non-magical theory of synchronicities illuminates much of the fog surrounding this challenging and perplexing topic. His ideas and manners are fresh, presented in a style that is both entertaining and highly informative. He is also an expert on crisis intervention, specially focused on violence reduction for the police and citizens, mastering anxiety, frustration, and stress without the use of medication, and effectively preventing and treating heroin addiction. Dr. Williams can be contacted at his email address at gwwilliamsny11@aol.com or visit his website at Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
True healing must address 4 levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, for us to live joyful and productive lives. We tend to treat 3 of the 4, leaving the spiritual languishing. If you're tired of the same dysfunctional patterns cropping up in your life, Soul Balancing is for you. Trixie Phelps, owner and founder of Soul Balancing, is a naturally gifted energy healer trained in numerous esoteric forms, including shamanism. Trixie has created a powerful modality that safely and effectively clears your energetic field. A soul balancing session can remove interference, heal trauma, and restore your hope. Contact Trixie for a life-changing long-distance session today, www.soulbalancing.world.
And welcome back to Talking to Spirits with Lightworkers Tim and Justina. Justina is in the sleep state, and her main spirit guide, Comets, is here. Our guests, spirit guides, are here, Ozzy and Zella. And Comets, just before that break, I had the slider that locks my front door slid over, and I didn't slide that over, did I?
No, you did not.
So there was there a spirit that did that then?
Correct.
Was there a reason for a spirit to show up and do that?
No, sometimes spirits do different things in the physical world just to either one, scare you, or two, because they're curious.
Okay. Well, it didn't scare me. I just knew I didn't do that. So, well, another one real quick. My TV was on this morning when I woke up. Was that the same kind of thing, or did I somehow accidentally hit the on button while I was sleeping?
Your dog, Bernie, actually hit the on button by accident.
Okay, it was Bernie. Okay, well, let's go back to you, Bud. I know that you had another little question about what we were talking about with your friend. So go ahead and ask that.
He had a spirit attachments, and I'm wondering, this is a two-part question. How did that, or if did that contribute to his health problem? Because he ate so well, he was a vegan. And how will getting rid of these spiritual attachments, or will getting rid of the spiritual attachments, help him heal quicker?
So yes, the thing with spiritual attachments is that especially if they're negative, they can affect someone's health and lifestyle. So let's take anxiety, for example. Sometimes someone will feel more anxious if a spirit is attached to them. Again, this is an individual basis, since not everyone that has anxiety has a spiritual attachment. But in your friend's case, he did. So yes, this contributed to his health issues, but we can provide a light healing for him. And the other part of your question is he will actually get better. Of course, he needs to follow all different guidelines by medical professionals, but we can also provide this light healing, which will help him heal.
Wonderful. Thank you. Comments?
And if I could have one more question, I have someone here with me. His name is Jerry.
Yes.
Last name?
Rose.
Jerry Rose. And I'm wondering if it would be all right if we called your spirit guides?
Yeah, sure.
And asked if there's any attachments or anything that they might be able to help Jerry with any kind of anxiety he may feel at different times. Would that be okay?
Yes, his spirit guides are now present, and we are doing a body scan. He does not have any spiritual attachments, but we are doing a body scan to see if there are any other issues.
Could you please tell him the name of his main spirit guide, please?
Philip.
Philip. Okay. And anything else on that, Bud?
Just wondering if there's any healing that his spirit guides can do for him, so that because teenagers go through a lot of trauma in life, and there's anything they can do for him to make him feel more at peace, as all teenagers need to feel.
Yes, so we are doing a light healing right now. So he may feel his body get warmer or tingly, and this is all normal from the white light. He can also ask his spirit guides out loud. So he can say out loud, "Philip, can you please help me and provide me with healing when he is feeling anxious?" His guides will come in and they will also provide their healing for him so he can feel better. Again, it's important, especially as a teenager, to make sure that he is okay connecting spiritually with his guides, since his guides are just there to help him and guide him, especially through tough times.
And Comets, speaking about spirit guides, myself and Justina doing this work, we do bump into people that they either don't believe in spirit guides or, maybe they haven't even heard of it. Do all human beings have at least one spirit guide with them?
Yes, that is correct.
And is this kind of worked out before they're born to have like this spiritual friend to kind of help them through life?
Yes, so you can think of even small children with their imaginary friends that they speak to. So these spirit guides are there throughout their life ever since they made the agreement, so even before they're born until they pass away.
I see. Okay. And Bud, you had some other questions that you had submitted to me. Should I go on with that, or did you need to finish up with what you were asking?
I had one more question, and that has to do with a channeling. I do not channel. I just don't do that kind of thing. And I was speaking to a friend in another country named Rose, and her aunt was suddenly, because she was grieving her aunt passing, and her aunt was suddenly there, and I tried to ignore her. I said I thought it was my imagination, but I finally said, "Your aunt is here. I see some sort of instrument," and then we went on and on and on, and there was every single thing was very validated, and most of it was. But was that real?
Well, Bud, what is Rose's last name?
I don't know.
You don't know. Do you know her aunt's name or no?
No, and I don't know her aunt's name either, but they're in the Philippines, and I just don't know her last name.
I see. Is that enough information for Ozzy and Zella to answer that one, comments?
Yes, because the experience happened to Bud, we can answer that. So yes, that was real. And obviously you're probably wondering why it happened all of a sudden. But because you're a very spiritual person, Bud, the spirit, so her aunt felt like she could come to you. It would have been too traumatic for her aunt to go to Rose. So instead, the situation happened where she came to you, Bud. So this was all put into play, and the spirit is very grateful that she was able to come to you and for you to channel her.
Okay, because it was very clear and very validating. And did Rose indeed feel better? She said she did. She was grieving hard.
Yes, she felt a lot better. And again, it would have been too much for Rose to do the channeling. So the spirit came to you. When spirits pass away, a lot of the times they have messages for their loved ones back home. But again, it's very difficult because usually a psychic has to channel them. But obviously you are a very spiritual person, and it is obvious you have some type of abilities, even if you don't use them.
Well, as Tim knows, I do use them. And one of the things I used them was with this woman, Rose, years ago. She had a health problem, and she's told me it's pretty well taken care of. And I guess that's the case. Is that true?
Yes. So even though you don't use them on a daily basis, sometimes things will happen like this channeling session to you, since the pathway of your abilities is always open.
Is that, I got the sense when I did this channeling this one-time life event that it was pretty much the same skill as when I look into somebody's body and see it like an X-ray.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd like to talk a little bit about that. Like Bud can really literally look inside a person's body and say, okay, over here there's a problem. Comets, is that like a psychic ability that everyone has, or is that kind of special for certain people like Bud?
So it is a special ability. Some people do have it, but again, you have to practice with your abilities. So for example, a psychic has to practice over time to be able to eventually do channeling sessions. But again, this ability is only for some people. So if you went down the street and looked at people, not everyone would have this ability.
Yeah. And I get the impression Bud is kind of like an upper level soul, meaning he's been through a lot, he's learned a lot. Would that be correct in saying that?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Well, Bud had submitted some questions as well, and he was wondering about his youngest daughter, Ashley. What is Ashley going through right now, and is there anything Bud needs to do or can do to help her out?
She's going through some issues at school, and she's also having some issues with friends at this time. Obviously, as you know, sometimes people have issues with friendships and they do not know if they should end the friendship, especially when they're younger. So this has happened, and obviously it is stressing her out and making her emotional. But, Bud, what you can do is just make sure that the lines of communication are open. So you need to make sure that she knows she can come talk to you when she's ready to talk. Obviously, she has not discussed this too much with you, but in time, she will talk more and more about this and feel more comfortable about coming to things that she has in school and friends and her life.
Anything more on that one, Bud?
No, that's about right.
Okay. Bud was telling me about some deceased people, one of them being his mother. And his mother's name is Doris Coppola. Did I get that last name correct, Bud?
Yes.
Okay. Doris Coppola. Now that I've spoken that name, is she here with us?
She's been here the entire time since she is one of Bud's spirit guides.
How is she doing? Bud wants to know how she's doing now. Is she happy and okay?
Yes, she is doing very well. She's very happy, and she is very much enjoying being a spirit guide.
Can I ask a question about my mother? Did my Aunt Louise Galuja experience the same type of psychological trauma as my mother did from that uncle or cousin or whatever it was?
So, Bud, we know you already know this answer by using your intuition, but the answer is yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And we have about a minute before break. There's also another person in the spirit world, Tom Wilborn. Bud was wondering how Tom is doing.
Tom is very happy and content with life.
Has he reincarnated again, or is he planning on doing that?
He is already reincarnated, so we cannot talk directly to him, but we connected with his spirit guides.
Comets, I've heard from some reading that we don't always bring all of our energy into the human body. We leave some of it in the spirit world. Is that correct or not really?
Yes, that is correct. But again, when someone reincarnates, it is harder to talk directly to them since most of their energy and soul is in a physical body.
Where is Tom? What part of the country or world?
South America.
So the energy left in the spirit world, is it just kind of hanging there dormant and you can't really communicate with it?
It really depends on an individual basis, but for the most part, yes, we cannot communicate with the person since they are down on this planet.
Wow, that's really, really interesting. Wonderful. Well, thank you. We're definitely going to pick this up right after this short break. Thank you.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? I'm Dr. Kimberly McGeorge, and on The Secret to Everything, we will merge the practical with open investigation into all realms of the mysterious. We will talk to cutting-edge alternative health practitioners, those who inspire and motivate you in business and life, and of course, we will share stories of the paranormal, conspiracy, and cryptozoology. You will transform because of the frequency I carry, the frequencies my guests carry. Life may never be the same after you listen to this program, for the secret to everything is for you, the listener, for those who desire more in every area of their lives and believe that it can still be found. Listen and discover thesecrettoeverything.com.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Welcome back to Talking to Spirits with Lightworkers Tim and Justina. Justina is sleeping. Her spirit guide Comets is here, and our guest Bud, his 2 spirit guides are here, Ozzy and Zella. And we were connecting with some people in the spirit world that Bud knows. And the last one that you wanted to kind of touch base with was your father, Walter Majeka. And again, Comets, now that I speak that name, is Walter with us?
Yes.
And Bud, I'm going to let you just ask that question. You had a question for your dad. Go ahead and ask what you would like to.
Just like to see if he has anything to say to me.
He says that he knows talking to him is difficult, but his ultimate message to you is that he's sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
And Comets, when we cross back into the spirit world, if we lived a life, let's say, where we were kind of a harsh person or maybe not such a nice person, and when we go back home into the spirit world, does that magically change? Is it kind of like, boom, all of a sudden things are different, or is it not really like that?
So, in the spirit world, spirits do not have the same emotions as humans. So, they do not have the emotions of being angry or controlling or anything that is negative like that. So when spirits are up in heaven, they do not have these negative things associated to them. So they are different. They only have the positive aspects of them and obviously the lessons they learned from doing those harsh things.
I see.
I have a question, one more. My oldest daughter, Asia Majeko, is here, and would it be all right to call her guides and see if there's any message for her? Maybe a body scan or anything she needs?
Yes.
Comets, could you tell her the name of her main guide, please?
Her main guide has a very unusual name, but for right now, the guide is saying you can call her B.
Okay.
And
your question was about Asia's health, is that correct, Bud?
Is her health okay? Is there any attachments? Is she on the right career path at this point?
So we are doing a body scan, and her body looks like it is in good condition and is healthy. We are also giving her a light healing to make sure she feels okay. She does not have any spiritual attachments at this time. And yes, she is on the right career path.
She has said there's no doubt she can do it.
She knows exactly what she wants to do, and our advice to everyone is always to follow their intuition when they have different choices. So if she is any doubting her career path, she just needs to follow her intuition, and that will lead her in the proper direction.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you. And Bud had a couple questions about past lives. Let's try to get this in real quick, and then we'll bring Justina back. Bud believes that he was killed in World War II. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he believes that he was a pilot. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then World War I, he believes he was a pilot and also killed in that war too. And is that correct?
Yes. He has been through many past lives of war.
Okay.
When I walked through into the Colosseum in Rome, I had a sudden feeling, it just came out of nowhere, of excitement that I was going to see the game. Was that real?
Yes, you were actually involved in the games. So you were not a spectator, but instead one of the people who participated.
Did Bud live in Atlantis, or did he have anything to do with flying in Atlantis?
Yes.
Oh, so both of those would be correct?
Yes, he has spent many, many lifetimes in war and different disagreements, and also with flying.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Comets. And thank you to Bud's guides, Ozzy and Zella, for being here. Thank you, Jane, for coming in as well. And let's bring Justina back into the conversation. I'm going to count from 1 up to 10. And with every number I speak, Justina, you just wake up. With every number I say, you have more and more energy. Around the number 5, your conscious mind comes back. And at the count of 10, your eyes will open up. You'll be wide awake and feeling incredibly good. Let's do that now. Time to wake up with 1, 2, 3, coming up, 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 waking up. 4 and 5, becoming very aware of your physical body. The sounds have returned. And now way up, all the way up, feeling wonderful with number 6, 7, and 8. You can stretch. You can take a deep breath in and out, rise and shine, feeling great. Now, way up, all the way up to number 9. And on the next count, your eyes will open up. You'll be wide awake, feeling great, lots of energy. Let's do that last number now with number 10. eyes open, fully alert, feeling good. And Justina, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back.
Wonderful. I'm going to say the magic words so you know what we just did. Remember. Remember, remember. Well, we have a little over 4 minutes left. Bud, what'd you think of that? What's your reaction to all of that?
Well, it's very validating. Little tiny things that you didn't see Angela's face when you said, "Remember the song I used to sing to," and I saw her choke up a little tiny bit and just nod. And talking about her husband, ex-husband, he died, and I know now. I'm sure Justina knows how and why and all that. But it was very nice for Angela that it's okay with her ex-husband that I'm there. Very, very nice.
Sure.
So she doesn't have to. I don't think she reached. Like when Justina said, "Bud, you know the answer. You're intuitive." When I asked about my mother and her aunt, Angela knew too. But sometimes you have to have this validation and these little secret things. Like you didn't know that Asia, she's just getting over some almost, I don't know if it's the flu or something, but that's all you really had to say is we're sending you some healing, so you're feeling okay. That was very validating. There was nothing else about boyfriends, girlfriends, injuries, and it was just send you a little healing to make sure you're feeling okay. It was perfect. And these are little things that don't get conveyed by only listening, but you see these people next to you nodding like I have, because we brought so many. There's 3 or 4 people here, and I saw this validation that you can't see. It was really wonderful.
Yeah, it's an experience. It is. And Justina, what did you kind of experience through that? I know you're in that altered state, but did you pick up on anything through that session?
I mean, it was a very crowded room. That's all I can really say. There's a lot of spirit guides, a lot of spirits here. Yeah. And I think to go off what Bud said, it's amazing to just hear like the little things. I mean, Tim, we've done sessions with my loved ones who have passed away, and it's just the little things, knowing that they're okay. And that's really kind of life-changing, that you can know that they're okay, they're in heaven, or they're reincarnated, or wherever they are, and that they're not going through that, because our last memories of people who pass away are usually pretty negative. So it's good to hear, that the person is doing okay.
Yeah, you've got that right. It's so nice to hear that. It really is. And another thing that we've heard time and time again is while we're dying, the guides will actually take us out of the body, so we don't have to experience those final moments. Even if you're falling, like 9/11, we saw people falling out of the buildings. The guides will actually take the soul out of the body even just before the fall, so they don't even have to experience the fall, let alone the impact. So
I've seen that in animals too.
What's that, Bud?
I've seen the same thing in an animal. I found a baby or a chipmunk that had been traumatized by being caught by something, and it wasn't physically damaged, but the body lived for a day or two, but there was no spirit in there, and I think it's similar to that. I think because it was just the eyes were empty. It was really strange. There was no bringing that animal back.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, I thought it was a great session. Past lives. I mean, we were kind of running out of time. I'd like to spend a little more time on that usually, but very interesting. World War I pilot, World War II pilot, just amazing. And Justina and Bud, if you don't mind me finishing up this segment, we're almost out of time, but I do once again want to tell everybody that Justina and I would love to work with tons of people this coming week. So from today, which is the 12th of March, through the 19th, we're offering a 30% discount. So all you have to do is go to lightworkers.cc and just click on the contact page and say, hey, I heard 30% off. And we will contact you. We'll set it up. Also, if anybody would like to come on the show, just contact us again. Thank you so much.